Good afternoon and welcome. Please join me today in welcoming Kelly Dieball, GoDaddy Social Senior Marketing Specialist, who will be sharing with us in just a few moments ways to attract more customers with Facebook and Instagram advertising. Kelly is a member of GoDaddy Social's webinar team and started at GoDaddy in 2018. She is passionate about educating customers on how to grow their brand on social media and manage their reputation online. We are excited to have her with us today to help share her expertise. Before we get started, I would like to review a few quick housekeeping items. All audience members are on listen-only mode, which means you are muted. We will be monitoring audience engagement on the dashboard and do encourage you to participate by using the question pane. There will be time for questions at the end of the presentation. Please note this webinar is being recorded and will be made available in the coming week. Now, without further delay, let me introduce Kelly Dieball. Kelly, thank you again for being with us today, and please take it away.
All right, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you all today. I have such a good topic to talk to everyone about, and I'm so excited. So let's go ahead and get started. While we are going through these hard times, we want to make sure you are able to be active on social media right now. We want to make sure that you're able to increase your reach, you're able to get more followers, and all these tips and best practices that we're going to go over today, you can really apply to make sure that you're also retaining your clients. You're letting them spread the word of mouth or maybe even get some referrals. So we want to make sure whatever your business is, you're able to use these tips down the road. And just a little bit backing up here, we'll talk about GoDaddy Social, what I do with the company. So GoDaddy Social has been around for about 10 years now, and we work with local business owners all over the United States, helping with social media, content marketing, and reputation management. We really make sure that the business owner is able to connect with their clients while also take care of their social media. So that's what we do for GoDaddy Social, but I'm also here today to give you guys some free tips on how to make sure you're getting the most out of your social media sites, and really more importantly, that you're able to connect with your customers right now. So hi everyone, my name's Kelly Dieball and I am a webinar manager on our GoDaddy Social team. I've been with GoDaddy a little bit over 2 years now, and I really am passionate about helping educate business owners on running their social media, establishing their brand online, and really connecting with their customers. And a couple things here in the top right corner of this slide, you will see hashtag #OpenWeStand. And Open We Stand is a movement that GoDaddy launched, a free resource for everyday entrepreneurs, business owners online, to help provide free resources so you can connect with the everyday entrepreneur, get free resources to help your business stay open if they have to be closed. So you can check out the website. It is openwestand.org, and we will send that out later to you today. So today we're going to cover a couple things. We're going to talk all about how to attract more customers, both with Facebook and Instagram advertising. So first, we're going to go over how to know your goal. This is super important when you are planning and strategizing your content and what you're trying to get out of your advertisements. And then we're going to talk about how to craft your content, what all you need to have in a post before you put money behind it, what you're going to be advertising. And then we're going to talk about how to dial in on your audience. So really understanding your demographics and who you're trying to target and reach in these advertisements. We're also going to talk about how you can decide on ad placement and budget, and know that you don't have to spend all these dollars and dimes on advertisements. We can start small and kind of test different strategies and then really learn what's going to be the best, most beneficial way for your business to run an advertisement. And then lastly, we're going to talk about how to analyze your results. See what worked, see what didn't work, and how to improve from that moving forward. So our first tip today is know your goal. And the best way to deliver ideal products and solutions to your model clients to connect is to advertise strategically. So in the age of social media advertising, to tell everyone, all the time is just not, advertising to everyone is not just going to work all the time. So if you want to get more clients, more referrals with social media, it's really essential that you spark up conversations and advertise your brand strategically. So social media users don't use the likes of Facebook and Instagram to really seek ads. So if your ad really comes across pushy or seems that it's not, or seems like it is a one-size-fits-all, it's not exactly going to work. So I'm going to show you a couple examples through this through the slide today, and you can kind of take it and adjust it to what your business is and how you will kind of use the tips moving forward. And give me one sec. Okay. So we're going to first begin with a broad objective. So engaging with local followers, growing a greater community presence. And, pop quiz, why is your business active on social media in the first place? So that's something really to think about. Why are you promoting on social media? What is your overall goal? And you want to begin with a big picture objective that really makes the goal setting process less intimidating. So here's a couple examples for reference. Small businesses engage with local followers and grow a greater community presence. And that will lead us to our next point, making smart goals. So here's where we get into the nitty gritty. Once you've gotten your big picture goals figured out, it's time to outline your smart social media objectives. The SMART goal setting framework is insanely popular, and we really cannot recommend it enough for business owners. So in case you're not familiar with SMART goals, this is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time sensitive. So those are the goals. So specific goals, you want these to be specific, you want these to be clear and defined. Measurable, this is where your analytics will come in. So you want a goal that has one or more metrics. And then achievable. Is your goal achievable, or is it not possible within your resources? And realistic, with your current resources, with all the time and money you have, is it possible to achieve these goals? And time sensitive, every goal needs a time frame, whether it's 1 year or several months. You need to have a time sensitive goal on it. So see how this works? This approach to goal setting results in direct action that's really backed up by data. And at GoDaddy Social, we've really found that when you're starting, an ad campaign, and in general, you're looking at your goals for your local business on social media, you need to identify metrics with every goal. So identifying your goal metrics. So there's a couple different, goal metrics with social media. So we're going to identify the metrics that you need to assign to your goals. And these are also KPIs and metrics tied to each individual goal. So let's use increased brand awareness on Facebook as an example goal. So for business owners focused on this goal, you want to pay close attention to the following, and that's going to be fan count, page and post impressions, post reach, link clicks, if you're linking to a company blog or something like that, website analytics for Facebook referrals. So basically, in a SMART breakdown, your goal could be increase brand awareness in the next 3 months. For a small business that's a cafe, this could look like something like this. It's specific because they want to increase brand awareness on your Facebook account within a 5-mile radius of the cafe. It's measurable because their goal is to increase fan count by 15%, increase link clicks on posts about the new cafe, have an average, post reach of say 100 people per post. Is that achievable? Yes. Is it realistic? The realistic goal is that they want to boost new cafe posts with advertising by $15 per post. They want to target an audience within a 5-mile radius and also consider posting neighborhood specials to get the word out. Their time sensitive goal for this is going to be a 3-month time limit on achieving the goal. So that's just a basic example of an exact SMART goal that attaches to your KPI of what you're trying to produce. So now we can talk about how to craft your content. Now that you know your goals, you know what you want to define, you know what you are trying to do. Let's go ahead and talk about how to craft your content to go ahead and achieve those goals. So social media strategy is a very important marketing tool for your business for a lot of reasons, okay? And to really begin, social media allows you to reach a larger number of people at a much lower cost, as would a normal marketing, strategy or marketing method would be. You can also target on social media, which is a really important advantage because you can target specific demographics of people that are most likely interested in your business. And finally, social media really lets you interact directly with potential clients in a lot more ways than a few other marketing channels can. So first, we're going to talk about creating an effective social media content strategy. So to start, A social media strategy for your business, you'll want to post several different types of content. And this can include pictures, videos of specials, events, or just kind of what's happening at your business. And also establish your own style. So from the beginning on social media, really think about your visual branding as it relates to your social media strategy. So visual branding elements can include everything from your logo, your color palette, to different photos that you use in your social profile. So just by creating a consistent look, it's going to help people recognize your brand more easily. So by creating a social media content strategy, you can use a content calendar. It can help you decide what you're going to post for the month, how to organize and really manage a posting schedule, how to track and analyze your social media content, all by just planning it out in advance. And I mean, you can plan out month per month. I think by planning out the month in advance, you can kind of take a look at what holidays are coming up, what weekly or daily specials you're going to be doing, and you can plan content around that. It'll just really help you be more prepared and then be able to track and analyze as you are posting. So we want to optimize your profile first. And one of our favorite sayings lately, and we love this with social media, is if it's not complete, you can't compete. I mean, you really just can't. So we want to make sure that you have everything your customers need to find in your profiles. And sometimes that's going to look a little different for different businesses. So you can use your logo as your profile picture. You can have a great cover photo. You can even use a picture, of you or your business as your profile picture. And then you want to have, a short, compelling description that really defines what it is that you do in your bio. And you also want to make sure you update any necessary information like your contact information, phone number, email, or just the address of where you're located. And here's a couple different examples. On the left, we have Postinos. And they have just a quick update about curbside pickup, delivery, and then they have a quick link that brings you to connect with them. At the bottom, you can see different icons. They have message, order food, email. What's really cool about Instagram is you can add these call to action buttons on your profile, and you can have email. I've seen call, and when you click it, it just pulls up the phone number or the email. But it's also cool is you can have this order food button, and you can link your whatever third-party delivery company you use for when people click order food. It pulls up something like DoorDash or Postmates or Uber Eats or something like that, and it directly links your profile. And then on the right, we've got Toca Madera, and their category is a vegetarian vegan restaurant. They have a link tree, which just brings up a bunch of information that leads to their website, their contact, the address, things like that. So just have everything that is kind of like a shopping window, just have everything that someone needs to look and decide what they need from your business if they're trying to track, where your location is or how to contact you. Have that in your profile. And then Facebook is going to be very similar to Instagram, but with Facebook, you can actually add a little bit more info. So here's just an example of Olive and Ivy. On the right icon, it says book now. And when you click that, it goes to their website where you can actually book a reservation. And then on the left, this is basically their profile info I screenshotted. So they have a little bit longer of a bio. You can have your website, you can have your phone number, you can have an email. You can even have the different price range of maybe what your business offers, and you can have different categories of, the industry, the types of food you serve, and then you can also add a link for people to see your menu, which is just super convenient. So have all that in there. I know you can have a little bit more with Facebook. You can also pick a cover photo. So I think on Facebook, this looks really nice how their profile picture is just the logo of their business, and then their cover photo is a nice, little spread of food that they have. So you can kind of include both. So once your profile is optimized, we're now going to talk about crafting content that you can put money behind to promote. So I want to make sure you are choosing the best post to boost. And something that you can do is you can start with events, specials, discounts, promotions, things like that. And those are the type of posts that if you have really great organic reach from that, you're going to want to try boosting. So with any content, really, you want to make sure it has great organic reach first. And by saying organic reach, I mean that means you haven't put any money behind it yet. it is just something that you are having, good engagement from your current followers in your profile. And then once you have your really great organic strategy down first, to be posting consistently and growing your reach, then you can put money behind your posts and you can set goals for the post, kind of like we talked about earlier. So a couple of things, what to post, what to promote. Like I said, events, specials, discounts, promotions, happy hour specials. I've seen a lot of examples from, and we'll talk about this example in a sec. What do you need? You need a great photo, a video, or a graphic. And what is next? You're going to set goals for the results that you want. So here is an example of Kona Grill. They promoted this happy hour special. It says join us for a happy hour and late night happy hour at Kona Grill, featuring blah, blah, blah. Then it kind of goes on about what their main features are. And I really like this photo because it's a nice photo of their spread of food, but it's also created into a graphic that kind of just explains their happy hours, their quick specials, $3 food, $6 drink, and more $9 specials. So, and then at the bottom, it says book now is the call to action, and we'll talk about that in a sec too. But by defining what your goals are, what the results that you want from this post is going to kind of help you pick your call to action. So, like we said, you want good copy. So this is where you're really going to call upon your inner copywriter. You'll have a couple different aspects of your ad, a body copy, a headline, a link description, and your really should just be informative and, super sweet and to the point, because when people are really scrolling through a newsfeed, they're not going to stop on your ad for very long. So just make sure you're choosing your words wisely. And also just a quick tip, this isn't going to be the time to really break out your thesaurus or fancy sounding words. So just use everyday conversational language to really ensure clarity. And then your call to action is based off what your goals are. So you need to set the objective for what you're trying to get out of this post. Is it going to be to get people to book a reservation? Is it going to get people just to simply go to your website and go to the menu? Is it going to be a call now to hear about our specials or call now for a reservation? That's what you're going to want to come up with before you choose your call to action. So, here's just a simple example. Their ad is promoting book your table for a happy hour, and the call to action at the bottom is going to be book now. So when you click it, it goes to their reservation page on the website where you can make a reservation. And then, like I said earlier, you want to make sure you're really choosing the best photo or video that's going to really showcase what your business is offering and putting in the spotlight here. So a picture of your happy hour menu or something that relates to what you're promoting is a really great visual to use, and you can really capitalize on authenticity here. So just make sure you're using an image that's specific to your business instead of using stock photos, okay? And then also, I know I talked about posting consistently to get organic reach. So posting consistently, meaning posting consistently every day, every couple days, and also posting consistently aligning with your brand, your color scheme, your logo, just what really represents your brand. And here is a great example of a feed with Takaya, and they post every day, every 2 days, but I would never recommend going more than 3 or 4 days without posting, because you want to make sure you're posting consistently, because that's when your followers are going to see your posts more. You're going to have more engagement, and then you're going to have more organic reach. Okay, so you're just going to have better success overall. So here's just an example. On the left, they are celebrating Labor Day with this post, and also Taco Tuesday Eve. And then on the right, if you can see their feed, they have a lot of the same color scheme and branding. You kind of know what to expect with their food and the outdoor and the picnics and things like that. So just make sure that your feed is consistent in your brand, and this isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to take a lot of testing too, and kind of really figuring out what looks good in your feed and good together. And you can use different tools like I know like Hootsuite and Sprout Social and Planoly, things to lay out your feed to see how they're going to look before you go ahead and post it. So like I said earlier, just to recap, you want to post several different types of content, include different pictures and videos, maybe things that are just going on in your business, new menu items, and then also be consistent. So when it comes to the look and feel of your social profiles, You just want to make sure that they're looking very similar. So just make sure you're using the same profile picture across accounts. Try and use similar handles if possible, and then just use the same photographic, aesthetic, and visual branding elements, okay? All right, now we're going to talk about dialing in on your audience. So really developing a clear understanding of your social media target audience may be the most important thing that you do as a social media marketer. So your target audience, it really informs all elements of your social media strategy. So here's a hint before we dig in. Your target audience is not everyone, unless you're Google, right? So your task in defining your social media audience is really to identify and understand your niche so that you can dominate it. So audience research will really help you craft relevant content, messaging, and ads. And all of this can lead to higher conversion rates and better social media ROI. So dial in on your audience. Couple things that you can really target. And social media audience research, it's not complicated. It's mainly about narrowing down your focus while you're expanding your reach. And who most wants to engage with you on social media? You're going to want to start with these people that are already buying from you, following with you, and interacting on your posts. So here are a couple data points that you can look at. So location. For example, you can target by state, zip code, country, etc. You can get more specific too, and you can target people where they work versus where they live. This seriously blows my mind how Facebook is able to do it, but it's crazy. And then different demographics too. So demographics mean data that relate to population, age, gender, income, marital status, things like that. So you can really target people by age. You can target very specifically. So think of like millennials versus baby boomers. And you also can segment your ads accordingly rather than take a one size fits all approach. So then you can also target interest. This is based on your users' likes and Facebook activity. So the platform actually really highlights potential customers. So for example, think about a local bike shop targeting users following, a brand page that lists biking as an interest. So it's crazy, but it can do it. And then other different demographics too, like education, relationship status, things like that, can also be targeted too. So your own customer database, it can also provide a wealth of information. You can't really assume that your overall customer demographics will match your target audience for social media sites, but by understanding who's already buying from you can help you understand who's most likely to be interested in your social media channels. So let me show you a couple of screenshots of examples of when you're running ads on Facebook. This is how you can target that. So it is important to focus on your target market. Social media advertising really makes it possible to drill down to very specific characteristics, but you can't make the assumption that, prospective clients are just like you. They don't necessarily have the same beliefs or hold the same values that you do, but they certainly don't make purchases for the same reason. So once you really have determined that your target market, your target demographics for your ad exists, you can execute your ad. So if you're looking to gain engagement or interactions on the ad, then you have to examine your audience. So Facebook audience information is located in the Insights tab, while Instagram is in the Apps Insights, and I will show you how to find those later. But on here is where you can kind of see the whole layout of creating audiences, targeting locations, age, genders, and then you can get into detailed targetings with demographics there too. And then when you click more demographics, here's just a couple examples of things you can choose from, like relationship, education. You can even choose like target people in different financial situations, generations, things like that. It's kind of crazy, but it's really neat how Facebook allows you to do this. And then once you know your audience, you can decide on where you're going to place your ad and also what you're going to spend on your ad. So ad placement and budget. So Facebook ad replacement really refers to where your ad is going to be seen across Facebook. So For example, it could be seen on the news feed, it could be seen on Facebook Messenger, even on stories. And if you don't have a benchmark from previous ads, you can just go with something called automatic placement, and that just places it automatically, and that's pretty much the easiest way to go if you don't know specifically like what you're trying to reach or what you're looking for. So then you'll put your dollars to work. So you'll tell Facebook how much you are willing to spend on your overall ad budget. So quick tip here, and I think a lot of people have different ideas of ads. So you don't have to use a lot of money up front to run Facebook ads. So Facebook actually lets you spend as little as $1 a day for an ad campaign. So when you go to the budget, you can see when you're looking at the different prices what the estimated reach is going to be for that dollar amount. So here's where your goals come in mind. If you have when you have your specific goal in mind, that's how much you're going to want to kind of look at what it's worth spending. And if you haven't necessarily like ran an ad before, you can try a couple of different ways of doing it, and you can test different variables. Like you can test the ad placement, maybe the ad content, or just like the call to action, things like that. So test a couple different ways of running ads, and then when you analyze your results, you'll see what worked and what didn't work, and you'll kind of know how to move forward. So Instagram is very similar when we're talking about ad placement and budget. So when you go to your Instagram page and you look at a post, first of all, you want to make sure your profile is a business profile. So when you go to a post on your feed, like I said, you want to make sure you're posting consistently and that you have really great organic reach first. So what you'll do is you will pull up a post, and I'm just going to pull my phone out so I can walk you through it. You'll go to your profile, you'll click on a post, and in the bottom right corner, you're going to click promote. That's going to bring you to this screen on the far left where you first decide your destination. So this is where it's going to send people that click on your ad. You can have it sent to your profile. You can have a link to send them to your website, or you can just have them directly message you when they click it, okay? And then you'll want to define your audience. So this is just like we talked about earlier. If you click automatic, it's going to target people that are like your followers. If you click create your own, that's where you can really dial in on your audience, their location, their gender, their age, things like that. And then you can choose your budget. So just like Facebook, Instagram shows you, when you kind of move the little toggles of how much money you're going to spend, how many days you're going to run this, it'll tell you the estimated reach, okay? And then on the far right, it gives you a little preview. And what's cool about Instagram is it places your ad in 3 different places on the platform. So it'll place your ad on Instagram stories, it'll place your ad on the Instagram feed, and it'll also place it on the Instagram Explore page, okay? So here you can preview your promotion, you can see what the estimated reach is, and you can put your payment. And then that's pretty much it. It's a lot simpler than you would think. And then you can kind of track and analyze the results when it's done, which we're going to dive into right now. So analyze your results. So did the ad campaign get the results you were looking for? And if it didn't, then you can experiment by changing one of the variables, kind of like I talked about earlier. So you can, play around with the ad type, the content, the audience that you're targeting, even the ad placement or budget to see what gets you the desired results. So decide what metrics matter. What metrics matter the most? Is that reach and new followers? Is that mentions and reviews? Is that an engagement rate? So this is what is going to come from the goals that you are trying to set. And then look at your Facebook insights. So before you jump knee deep into your favorite Facebook ad strategy, you need to figure out how to navigate the platform first. And yeah, there's definitely a learning curve involved, but with so many metrics to track and variables to watch, we don't blame any marketer for getting a bit overwhelmed. So this is exactly why we encourage, if you're newer, to really run and test smaller campaigns just to kind of get your feet wet, and to understand how it works. and to make adjustments before you're blowing out on your budget. So start small, test things out, analyze your results to see what worked and then what didn't work, and then you're going to create a new strategy moving forward for based off the first tested ad. And speaking of budgets, Facebook can serve your ads for you based on what they perceive as an optimal engagement, or they can run on a set schedule. So there's no right answer for how to budget. Just know that you can quickly drain your dollars if you don't set restrictions for yourself. So understanding your audience on Instagram. This is Jeffrey. Jeffrey is one of my coworkers. And so what we did was we dove into his insights. So when you go to your profile, click the top right corner, and this will bring you to your insights page where you can go ahead and click insights. And then here you can see, if you click on the audience tab, you can see your overall audience. You know, you can see the age ranges, the genders. You can see, you know, when the most people are on the platform at certain days, certain times of the day, things like that. So by really understanding who your audience is going to help you create content to really market and target and reach them. And it's going to help you create content to, you know, get great organic reach from and then put money behind to promote it. So if you manage your Instagram account without ever looking at your analytics, you're really going to be left in the dark when it comes to understanding the results of your efforts. So these efforts, you know, likely coincide with company or department goals, even if it's just your own Instagram KPIs. This will naturally help inform which Instagram metrics you should be reporting on. And therefore, when answering the why part of the equation, you'll also reveal your key Instagram metrics to report on. And then what's cool about Instagram too is each post that you promote or post, in general, you can look at the insights. So since Facebook owns Instagram, if you want to analyze your Instagram ads, you first need Facebook Business Ads Manager. And so by doing so, you'll be able to track information about any of your ad campaigns as well as schedule and view reports about them. So it also allows you to analyze how to target a specific audience. And here are the Instagram promotion metrics track. So clicks mean the number of clicks your promotion has received to the present moment. Click-through rate tells you the number of times someone clicked through any of your Instagram ads. It takes into account the number of times your promotion was shown. There's also cost per click, and this provides you information about the amount of money that costs, you know, you each click on each promotion. There's average cost per click, and that's the total cost of your clicks divided by the total number of your clicks. So I hope everything I just mentioned was kind of useful. I know knowing about analytics is really essential to target to the right audience and post the right content. It'll also help you get more clicks, more views, more likes, you know, more comments all on your Instagram account. So here, if you are looking at the promotion insights, you can see the interactions, you can see how many people visited your profile, how many people visited your website, how many people sent you an email. It tells you all the impressions, all the new follows you got, and it also shows how much you spent in your budget. So I know that was a lot of information, you know, the past half hour, but I think what we'll do now is we'll open it up to some Q&A, and I will hand it back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kelly. One question that we do have is, if somebody is new to social media or doesn't have a strong following yet, do you have any best practices on days or times to post that you have found that have been effective for you?
Sorry, I just realized I was on mute. So it's all going to be dependent upon your analytics. So kind of how I showed you in your Instagram, how you can see the insights of your profile. You can also see in the bottom right corner the best days, the best times that the majority of your followers are on your profile, and you're going to want to post at those times of the day.
Awesome, thank you. And then we do have a question if these slides will be available after the webinar.
Yes, I can definitely send them to you to send out to people if that's helpful.
Perfect. And then somebody actually had a question about GoDaddy and asking if it's if the service is a monthly fee to set something up like this.
Yeah, so we have different packages that range. It's not a one size fits all. So just depend on the size of your business and your goals. But we can certainly reach out and talk through what your goals are and what you're looking for and what the price comes to for that.
Perfect. And then a few more questions just came in too. Do you have any suggestions for a page that has multiple departments like a gym, golf course, dining services, hotel rooms, etc.?
So is it all the same business? Or can you read the question one more time?
It says, do you have any suggestions for a page that has multiple departments like a gym, golf course, dining services, hotel rooms?
Yeah, so I mean, if the page is a hotel or facility that has all those different types of department, just that's where your social media calendar and your social media strategy is gonna be really handy for this, is by planning out your content. And as each different department is gonna feed under a different bucket of content, and you'll just want to make sure your whole strategy and feed flows correctly. So I think by planning out the content in advance is going to be super helpful for you there.
Awesome. And then we have a question about hashtags, which is how can we see what hashtags worked to attract new impressions? I know it shows if someone went to the post through a hashtag, but not which one.
Yes, so tracking hashtags. So you'll have to do some research as far as what kind of hashtags are going to be the most beneficial for your business. As to tracking them, I'm not completely sure how to do that, but how to research hashtags is to just simply go to the Instagram search and start typing them in, and it'll tell you how many people are currently either using that hashtag or talking about that hashtags at the moment. And those are the hashtags that you're really going to want to try and focus on.
Awesome. And then another question that came in, somebody that works for a hospitality training academy, they said, our goal is to get more signups and also attract people to our online classes, but our most successful posts are employee recognition. How should we go about choosing a post for an ad given our most successful ones do not drive towards our goal?
Let me think. I mean, I think as far as if you maybe choosing the next best category of photos that are doing well to boost. And the thing is too is that you're not going to be, it's not going to be an overnight success. It's not going to be a one-time ad. It's going to be super successful. You're going to have to test out different variables in your content. So what I would do is maybe choose 3 different types of posts to boost and put a little bit money behind it, and then kind of track when they're all done and see which one had the best results for you, and that's what you can kind of build off from moving forward with ads.
Thank you. And then I think we just got 3 more questions that came in. If you have an established business and have previously posted for years, is it best to start over by deleting previous posts, or what do you recommend?
So what I recommend is don't delete anything. I recommend doing a reintroduction post. So, whatever your business is, say it's say it's like a restaurant. Maybe you have been closed for a couple of years and now you're relaunching. Do a post, introduce yourself, who you are. Say, I know it's been a while, but I'm revamping my business. Here are my goals. Here's what I hope to provide you with, and then build your strategy off from that, kind of rebranding yourself. But let people know that it's been a while since you've been here, but let me do a reintroduction. Here is who I am. Here is where I've been, maybe what you've been working on the past couple years, if it has to do with your business, and what your goals are moving forward, what your vision is.
That's awesome. And can you go over the term impressions? Is it simply when your content is displayed?
Yeah, so impression means someone looked at it, it made an impression on them. So it's not just like they're scrolling through the post and they pass it, like they're on the post and they either clicked it, they either liked it, something like that, but they had a little bit of engagement with seeing your post.
And then also, do you think it's effective to do post stories daily and using the page for professional photos only?
I don't think so necessarily. I think posting stories are great because it's kind of that raw, authentic, unedited stuff, and you can kind of post in real times. And I think that on your feed, you should hit all different types of content. I think that's totally up to you if you want to use only professional photos, but I think by adding non-professional photos in your feed makes you just seem more humanized and more authentic, more real because you have the mix of those.
And then we got two questions that are somewhat similar, so I'll combine them together. One person asked, can you post more than one picture on an Instagram promotion ad? And then the second question was, is there a benefit to adding a slideshow of photos versus a single photo?
Okay, first question was, can you do an ad if you have multiple photos?
Correct.
Yes, you can. I just went through on Instagram with a photo I had of a couple photos and tried to, and it let me promote it. So yes, you can do that. And then can you repeat the second question, the second part of that?
Is there a benefit to adding a slideshow of photos versus a single photo?
I don't think so necessarily. I think that depending on what what the content is and the caption, the whole purpose of it, maybe if you're trying to display some new menu items, or maybe if you're trying to display multiple pictures of like a revamp or a rebranding or a remodel of your restaurant, I think that that's totally okay. So I think it just really depends on what your content is and what your goal is of the post.
Awesome. And then it looks like we got one more question that came in. How do the two platforms differ in terms of demographics? I keep hearing that the younger hip crowd is on Instagram, but those of us who are more seasoned, haha, are on Facebook.
Okay, yes, I do agree with you. I think the younger crowds are on Instagram, but I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like, my parents or people aren't on Instagram, but I think that each generation or each platform is definitely hits a different generation. So this is where knowing and understanding your audience, your demographics is going to come into handy, because if you're trying to reach, an older audience, yes, Facebook ads are going to be a little bit more beneficial. Whereas if you're trying to target a little bit younger people, than hitting Instagram. But I think by even just testing out two of the same ads on both platforms, you'll see what you get most out of and then kind of move forward from there.
That's awesome. And it looks like that was the rest of our questions for this session today. So I just want to thank you again, Kelly, for taking the time to come and speak with us in our shows today and our audience. And just as a reminder too, we will be sending the recording of today's session via email to everybody that participated. And as Kelly mentioned, we can also send the slideshow presentation as well. So thank you everyone for tuning in today. And again, thank you, Kelly, for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and everyone that came today, thank you so much for being here. I hope you all go out there and stay safe, stay healthy, and really love what you do and do what you love. And we will see you next time.
Awesome. Thanks again. Bye.
Bye.